Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Decision Night in America 2024. Tonight we have Florida Governor Ron DeSantis running against Vice President Kamala Harris for the presidency of the United States. We have poll closings right now at 7 p.m. on the East Coast, and we can make our first projection of the night in the state of Indiana. Indiana, it's 11 electoral votes. Cyberpolitics projects will go to Ron DeSantis when all the votes are counted. The same with Kentucky, and it's 8 electoral votes going to Ron DeSantis when all the votes are counted. In South Carolina as well, Ron DeSantis is the projected winner according to the Cyberpolitics Decision Desk. In the state of Vermont, Kamala Harris, the Cyberpolitics Decision Desk can project, will carry the state of Vermont. It's 3 electoral votes. In the state of Georgia, this is a key race alert from the state of Georgia. Too early to call. As you can see, Kamala Harris has about an 8-point lead in the state of Georgia. Of course, remember that is very early vote in the state of Georgia. In the state of Virginia, too early to call. There's actually nothing in from Virginia just yet. And in the race to 270, 28 for DeSantis, 3 for Harris. DeSantis immediately starts out with an advantage, and if you look at the bottom left corner, you can actually see that DeSantis has a 60% chance of winning the presidency, while Vice President Harris only has a 40% chance of winning the presidency. Poll closings at 7:30 p.m. In the state of West Virginia, the Cyberpolitics Decision Desk can project Ron DeSantis will carry the state of West Virginia. That's 4 electoral votes. No surprise from West Virginia. In Ohio, key race alert in Ohio, too close to call with 14% of the estimated vote in. Look at how close it is in the state of Ohio. Of course, this is very early in the state of Ohio. In North Carolina, too close to call. Very close in North Carolina. Kamala Harris has a very slight lead in the state of North Carolina. Of course, that is early, with only 10% of the vote in. And race to 270, 32 for DeSantis, 3 for Harris, and 62.4% chance of DeSantis winning the presidency, and 37.6% chance of Harris winning the presidency. It is now 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and the polls have closed in several states. And from this poll closing, we actually have projections coming in from the decision desk right now. We have several of them coming in. The first from the state of Tennessee, Ron DeSantis is the projected winner there according to the Cyberpolitics Decision Desk. And in the state of Alabama as well, with its 9 electoral votes. 11 electoral votes from Mississippi, 9 electoral votes from Alabama. In Mississippi, those 6 electoral votes in Mississippi going to Ron DeSantis, and in Oklahoma, 7 electoral votes in the state of Oklahoma going to Ron DeSantis. In Missouri, 10 electoral votes going to Ron DeSantis. In Illinois, 19 electoral votes going to Kamala Harris, no surprise there. And in the District of Columbia, Kamala Harris is the projected winner. In the state of Maryland, Kamala Harris is the projected winner, 10 electoral votes. In the state of Delaware, 3 electoral votes. In the state of Connecticut, 7 electoral votes going to Kamala Harris. In the state of Rhode Island, 4 electoral votes going to Kamala Harris. In Massachusetts, 11 electoral votes going to Kamala Harris. In Pennsylvania, too early to call. That's very early vote in, 10% of the vote in. Harris has a slight lead. In New Jersey, too early to call, only 5% in. And Harris has the lead. Too early to call, though, in New Jersey. In New Hampshire, too early to call. There's nothing in from New Hampshire yet. And in Maine, too early to call. 5% of the vote in, and Harris has a slight lead. In Florida, too close to call. Apparently 65% of the vote in right now, and Ron DeSantis has the lead over Kamala Harris in the state of Florida. And in the race to 270, 75 for DeSantis, 60 for Harris, and in a chance which way the White House will go, 61.5% chance that the White House goes to DeSantis, and 39.5% chance it goes to DeSantis. I mean, Harris. Oh my God. We have a key race update from the state of Georgia. Too close to call in Georgia. But as you can see, DeSantis has a slight lead over Harris in Georgia. In Virginia. Okay, that was actually too close to call a split second ago, but apparently it has now been called for Kamala Harris. The state of Virginia, a key race projection we can't project, will go to Kamala Harris. 13 electoral votes in Virginia. That's 73 electoral votes for Harris now to 75 electoral votes for DeSantis. As you can see, the chance for the White House has tightened up. 57.2% chance for DeSantis now, and 42.8% chance for Harris. It is now 8:30 p.m. on the East Coast, and the polls have closed in the state of Arkansas. And in the state of Arkansas, the Cyber Politics Decision Desk can project Ron DeSantis will carry the state of Arkansas. And in the race to 270, 81 for DeSantis, 73 for Harris. It's back to a 60-40 chance down there favoring DeSantis. It is now 9 p.m. on the East Coast, and the polls have closed in another massive array of states, and we have several projections from these as well. In the Empire State of New York, Kamala Harris is the projected winner, 28 electoral votes from the Empire State. In Louisiana, 8 electoral votes going to Ron DeSantis. In Kansas, 6 electoral votes going to Ron DeSantis. In Nebraska, 4 out of 5 of those electoral votes going to Ron DeSantis. In South Dakota, 3 electoral votes. By the way, that extra electoral vote in Nebraska is too early to call. But in South Dakota, 3 electoral votes going to Ron DeSantis. In North Dakota, 3 electoral votes going to Ron DeSantis. In Wyoming, 3 electoral votes going to Ron DeSantis. And in New Mexico, 5 electoral votes going to Kamala Harris. No surprise from New Mexico. We have key race alert in Michigan, though. Too close to call. 40% of the vote in Michigan. And Kamala Harris has a slight lead in Michigan over Ron DeSantis. It's too close to call in Michigan. In Wisconsin, very narrow lead up on the part of Harris in Wisconsin right now. 30% of the vote in, and that's 10 electoral votes at stake in Wisconsin. Too close to call in Wisconsin. In Minnesota, Harris has about a 3.4% lead in the state of Minnesota. 23% of the vote is in right now, or at least 23% of the estimated vote is in, and Kamala Harris has a lead. In Texas, too close to call. 40% of the vote in. Ron DeSantis leads in the state of Texas right now. It's still too close to call. In Colorado, too close to call. Harris has a lead there in Colorado, but 20% of the vote is in Colorado. In Arizona, 5% of the vote in, and Harris has a slight lead. Too early to call in Arizona. And in the race to 270, 108 for DeSantis to 106 for Harris. And in the race, and then a chance for the White House, 55% chance of it going to DeSantis and 45% chance of it going to Kamala Harris. We get key race alert update in the state of Georgia. Too close to call. 75% of the vote in, and DeSantis has a narrow lead in the state of Georgia. 16 electoral votes at stake there. 16 electoral votes at stake also in North Carolina, where DeSantis has a larger lead over Harris. 72% of the vote in there in North Carolina. In Ohio, 17 electoral votes at stake in Ohio. 81% of the vote is in, and DeSantis has a pretty impressive lead. He has a lead of about 8.3% in the state of Ohio. In Florida, the home state of the governor, 86% of the vote in Florida, 30 electoral votes at stake, and Governor DeSantis, who is the governor there, has this big lead, is I believe a 3.1% lead. Of course, we do expect that to expand at the end of the night. We can project in the state of Texas, 40 electoral votes remaining in the DeSantis column in the state of Texas, and in the state of New Jersey, Kamala Harris will pick up the state of New Jersey. In the state of Colorado, Kamala Harris will carry the state of Colorado. And in a race to 270, 148 electoral votes for Ron DeSantis and 130 electoral votes for Kamala Harris. And the chance for the White House, 65% chance of it going to Ron DeSantis and 35% chance of it going to Kamala Harris. We can project in the state of Ohio now that Ron DeSantis will carry the state of Ohio. 17 electoral votes from the Midwestern Rust Belt state. 17 electoral votes from Ohio going to Ron DeSantis. And we can now project in it's 9 p.m. On the East Coast now, by the way, and the polls have closed in 4 states, 22 electoral votes up for grabs. Let's run you through the projections we have right now. In the state of Iowa, Ron DeSantis, we can project, is the winner in Iowa. In Montana, Ron DeSantis is the projected winner. In Utah, Ron DeSantis is the projected winner in Utah. In Nevada, key race alert in Nevada, 50% of the vote in there. 50% of the estimated vote, 6 electoral votes up for grabs in Nevada, and Harris has a slight lead of about 1.2% in the state of Nevada. We'll keep you updated about Nevada. And in the race 270, 181 for DeSantis to 130 for Kamala Harris, and in the chance for the White House, 72.4% chance of it going to Ron DeSantis and 27.6% chance of it going to Kamala Harris. We can project now in the state of North Carolina that Ron DeSantis will carry the state of North Carolina, and it's 16 electoral votes. He will carry the state of North Carolina. And after that projection, it is 75% chance for DeSantis winning the presidency and 25% chance for Harris winning the presidency. 197 electoral votes in the column of Governor DeSantis and 130 electoral votes in the column of the vice president. The race to 270 is not over. This election is not over. We can make several projections from the poll closing at 11 p.m. on the East Coast. And the first projection we can make from that is in the state of Idaho. 4 electoral votes in the state of Idaho going to Ron DeSantis. Another 4 electoral votes in Hawaii, however, they go to Kamala Harris. In California, 54 electoral votes going into the Harris column. In Oregon, 8 electoral votes there in Oregon going to the Harris column. And in Washington, 12 electoral votes from the state of Washington going into the Harris column. And in the race to 270, 208 electoral votes for Kamala Harris to 201 electoral votes for Ron DeSantis. Kamala Harris is in the lead in the Electoral College for the first time tonight. And the chance for the White House, 57.3% chance of it going to DeSantis and 42.7% chance of it going to Kamala Harris. And there's been speculation about Vice President Harris calling Governor DeSantis to concede. However, we do not have any information about that claim at this time. And apparently we have a major projection coming in right now. In the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis will carry his home state of Florida, 30 electoral votes crucially needed. In the state of Florida, he will carry the state of Florida. And with that projection, he is now at 232 electoral votes to Kamala Harris's 208 electoral votes. Ron DeSantis has now taken back the lead in the Electoral College. And in the chance for the White House, 63.2% chance of the presidency going to DeSantis and 36.8% chance of the presidency going to Kamala Harris. And we can project in the state of Minnesota, Kamala Harris will carry the state of Minnesota. And it's 10 electoral votes. 10 electoral votes are in the state of Minnesota going to Kamala Harris. And it is now 1 a.m. on the East Coast here, and 3 electoral votes up in Alaska up for grabs. And it seems that those 3 electoral votes will remain in the DeSantis column, according to our decision desk. Not only that, but we have a call in the Rust Belt, the state of Wisconsin, and it's 10 electoral votes going to Ron DeSantis, and there goes Kamala's blue wall. Kamala's blue wall has toppled, and so has most of her chances to win the presidency tonight. We will keep you updated, but for Harris supporters watching our coverage tonight, I want you to know this election is not over, and for DeSantis supporters, you have a very good reason to be excited right now, because there is a 64.8% chance of the presidency going to DeSantis, and a 35.2% chance of it going to Harris. We can project now This is a major historical projection that we can make right now. Ron DeSantis has been elected the 47th president of the United States, as we have now added collectively the states of Arizona and Pennsylvania into the DeSantis column, which means that he has surpassed the 270 electoral votes needed to become the 47th president of the United States. And we have several major projections coming in also right now. In the state of Georgia, Ron DeSantis is the projected winner in the state of Georgia, and it's 16 electoral votes going to Ron DeSantis. That's the flip from 2020. In Nevada as well, this is another flip from 2020, 6 electoral votes in Nevada going to Ron DeSantis. And in Michigan, 15 electoral votes going to Ron DeSantis. This was pretty much projected by virtually everyone to still go to Vice President Harris, but tonight Ron DeSantis has pulled an upset in the state of Michigan. In New Hampshire, 4 electoral votes remaining in the Harris column. And in Maine, 3 out of 4 of those electoral votes going to Kamala Harris, while the other electoral vote has gone to Ron DeSantis. And this is the final map. 313 electoral votes for President-elect DeSantis and 225 electoral votes for Vice President Harris. And of course, Vice President Harris has already called Vice President-elect DeSantis to concede, and the Vice President-elect will be on to speak soon. Alright, thank you guys a whole lot for watching. I think I'm starting to lose my voice from kind of screaming. But anyway, thank you guys a whole lot for watching. Peace out.